Hello, everyone, and welcome to another episode of Ilera-Wellness. My name is Gisela Deschamps. I'm a project manager and a passionate about naturopathy. And I have the pleasure of co-hosting this interview with my sister Solange, who is a doctor in nutrition and a coach in naturopathy. And obviously, our new guest, and I'm so honored to introduce him. So, this is Dr. Tal SCHALLER, who is not only a medical doctor, but also a speaker and the author of several books, including Vaccin un génocide planétaire, which means in English, vaccine, worldwide genocide. So thank you, Dr. Tal, for accepting our invitation.
Thank you. It's a great pleasure for me. I believe that we walk in the same direction, which is to help people to become free from the slavery of believing that health will come from outside. Because this is the real slavery. Health is always an inner process. For myself, I became general practitioner more than 50 years ago. But after a few time in this normal medicine that I was practicing, I discovered that what I've been trained to do is to see what is the illness of people and then to give them remedies that will make them stay ill the rest of their life, which is incredible when you think about it. For instance, I have someone who has diabetes. I say, you have a diabetes, then you have to take remedies or insulin for the rest of your life. And I discovered that it was a nonsense because many diseases, intoxication of the body by bad food, well, stress and all these things. And when someone is toxic, to give to this person chemicals, it's a nonsense because chemicals are toxic and they block your immune system. So it's completely incredible. So I became an acupuncturist, osteopath, homeopath, dietitian. So I went into all this different kind of medicine. But after a few years, I made another step. I said to my patient, if you want to continue to stay ill and that I have to do the work to treat you, I stop. Go to someone else. But if you want to become your own doctor, then I will teach you how to be independent. Because my goal, I created this phrase that says, health can be learned.
Right.
You can learn to be healthy as you have learned to speak or to walk or to drive a car. It's a process of learning the laws of nature.
Right.
What I discovered through all the antique medicine is that this is what I call holistic medicine, which is medicine that takes care of all aspects of a human being. And the basic is to understand that we are not only a physical being, because to think that we can heal all problems with only physical treatments is a nonsense. Because we are much more than a physical being. We are beings of light, and from our body of light, we create a mental body. It goes slower, it creates an emotional body, and then we have the physical body. So this concept, 4 bodies, is give you an idea that we have to take care of everything that is us: physical body, emotional body, mental body, and spiritual body. If we do that, the image I have since half a century is a horse, a galloping horse with 4 legs. It's wonderful. But if a horse wants to make a competition with only 1 leg, it doesn't work.
No, it doesn't work.
That's the problem. They want to be healthy, but they consider only the physical body. They ate only raw food, things that are wonderful, but it is not sufficient. They do all the good things for the physical body, exercise and diet and food, and it's not sufficient. Why? Because, and when I ask them, what do you do with your emotional body? So the emotional body has to be considered. The key is very simple. The teacher we have for emotional release through the body are children when they are 3 years age. If the children before 4, they are free. Fear, anxiety, or anger, or sadness, they let it go. They cannot control it. They're happy all the time. The major drama in many people is that when you are 4, intellect starts working, you start thinking and speaking, and your parents say to you, don't stop it. Don't trust your body of light, obey your parents. And then you obey the teachers, the doctors, and this is the nightmare because you go into stress. Systems that are not following the basic rules of life. because there are laws of life and we cannot change them. One of them is that the body, when you are ill, it is not because you have caught something, a virus or a bacteria from outside. This is completely ridiculous.
Yeah.
The truth is that we have more viruses and bacteria in our bodies than cells. So we cannot say that they are enemies. They are within us. We have bacteria, thousands and millions, billions of bacteria working to make vitamins for us. And we have viruses too. And so the basics to understand, we have created a system of belief that disease comes from outside. And this is not right. The truth is that when the body is a bit toxic, he has too many toxins within that he cannot expel naturally through the normal ways, he is asking a virus or a bacteria to make an infection disease to release toxins. Diseases are always helpful. They are a process of healing. But unfortunately, many people and physicians in the world have forgot this knowledge. They believe that disease is something bad, that you have to erase as quickly as possible. For instance, if you have cancer, they believe, oh la la, dramatic, they want to kill it with chemotherapy or with surgery. But it's not true. The body is not a stupid system. He has a wisdom that is incredible. We have 8 billion chemical reactions every second in our body. Millions of cells and viruses. All this works in a fantastic way that all our scientists, they know only the A and the B of the alphabet, but the rest they don't know. Because as the great Edison, this wise Edison said, until scientists can create a blade of grass, nature will only laugh of what we call scientific knowledge. Until that, you must trust nature better than scientific people. Science is very limited. We know a few things, but we don't know the majesty. All this reaction, if the body makes a cancer, a tumor, it's not because he's bad. It's simply because he's calling for help. The message he gives to you is you have to change your way of life. Start eating raw food or fast, do other things, and you will heal. Because the healing comes always from within.
I personally believe in that because when I suffered from asthma, I literally changed not only my diet, because I switched to a raw diet, but also changed my environment. I started also doing meditation and yoga and those kind of things. It takes a holistic approach to be able to heal. It's not only food that is going to heal one person. And I'm happy you mentioned that, Dr. Taj. The reason why we also invited you is because we all share the same belief. And I wanted to know, how do you define well-being?
Yes, that's a good question. So for me, I became a health teacher. And since 30 years, I teach with my wife, who comes from Madagascar. And both of us, and now with the help of our son too, and we bring to people different aspects of what is well-being. The key is to understand that well-being or health cannot only be physical. It has emotional well-being too. And that, as I said, it is to release emotion through the body. And what we teach people is when they have or fear or anger, no more to keep it within, no more to drop it on someone else, because violence is terrible. So if you feel anger, you just dance it. And if you release it through the body, like you were doing when you were 3 years old, then you release all emotion in a beautiful way. But of course, you cannot do that in front of people. Because the major fear in Western countries is the fear of emotions. If you have an emotion that is intense in public, people think you are mad or violent, put you in a jail. There is only one adult that can have intense emotion without problem. You know who he is? It is a clown. When you have yes, I've worked for
That's wonderful.
15 years. I did many lectures on laughter in hospitals and many countries. I went in Montreal too, for teaching people that laughter, for instance, when you laugh, even it's a bit self-created, artificial. Your body, when you laugh, what we are teaching is that through laughter and through emotional release, people can create from within everything you buy in a drugstore or on the market of illegal drugs. For instance, you laugh, you create marijuana. You know, marijuana, smoke it and become poisoned by it because it's not natural. What is natural is to create health from within, well-being from within. And this goes with food, with emotional release and with opening your right brain. Because the left brain is very oriented with belief system. But when we drop emotion, then the right brain open and we go into the world of shamans. I've seen many shamans in the world. Shamans are simply people who, because they have an open right brain, they can travel, can go beyond material kingdom. They can be in touch with angels or spirits, well, all sorts of experiences that are not only for wise people of the past, like Krishna or Buddha or Jesus. We can all have these experiences because within us there is a shaman, a healer. Then when we open our right brain, we can contact energies, subtle energy, and we can let them go through us to help people. We are teaching a kind of shamanism that my wife has called wild shamanism, because many shamans, unfortunately, they are trapped into systems that are a bit traditional. So they do things like the father was doing, and sometimes it becomes a bit too tight.
Okay.
So what we're teaching is shamanism, where everyone can, just by releasing emotion, getting in connection with higher dimension, be his own shaman, his own healer.
It's more natural.
Yes, it's more natural kind of shamanism. So it doesn't go against all the shamanism, but it's a kind of synthesis of taking the best of all tradition, but without the limitation of some traditions.
So thank you, Dr. SCHALLER. You know also that at Ilera-Wellness, our mission is to spread the wellness around the world. And we believe that each one of us can reach his own wellness. And we try to help people to reach this wellness, their own wellness. And that's why we know that you have some training, you offer some training. Can you talk about that for American people, North American people, Canadian people, how they can reach your training, how they can try to share the experiences that you are sharing with people?
Yes. So we have on our site, which is santeglobal.world, we have many information. I have written more than 60 books on health, but most of it is in French. So for Canadian people, it's fine. But for American people, we do not have a lot of English-speaking material.
Okay.
It's not yet done. But it can happen. And many now with internet is easy to translate. People that ask me, for instance, before I was sending books in Africa or Asia to people who are looking for help. But with post office, it doesn't work well. So now, if someone from underdeveloped countries asks me for help, which I have every day on mail, like I have AIDS, I don't know what to do, I have no money for chemicals, what can I do? Am I going to die? I'll say, no, you're lucky, because this chemical was killing people, not AIDS. If you have AIDS, but you go into a natural way of life, in 3 to 6 months, you will be happy and you will teach health around you. And what I do is that I send my books on internet, which is very easy to do. And people get that on their computer, they read it, they can translate it if necessary in their language, and then they can see that the basic laws of life are the same for all human beings. Good food, natural way of good food, not the food that is made. Junk food is terrible. What Mother Nature gives us, fruit, vegetables, sprouts, natural things, algae, well. When you do that, your body starts getting better. Then you have to learn fasting, because fasting is one of the best ways to heal any kind of disease. When you fast, 50% of the energy of your body that was taken for digestion is free for healing. And I teach that since half a century. I've seen many, many fantastic healings. When you go to fasting 1, 2, 3, 4 weeks or 5 weeks, there is nearly no disease and can resist it. But when you fast or go into natural way of eating, you have to exercise your body, which is clear, to move, you make you move, don't stay on your seat, and you have to release your emotion, to shout, but in a natural, happy way. The thing is that when you have let your emotion go through the body, naturally your body relaxes, becomes quiet, you open, brain open, and then you have mystic experience. Go into light and forces, and then you meet your parents that have died, you meet, well, you have all sorts of experiences that go beyond the materialistic world. Because the forces, the negative forces, which want to control all human beings, like Bill Gates says, he wants to vaccinate 7 billion people. And he says that it's going to kill millions, but he doesn't care. The survivant will have into the body, with the vaccines, they put nanoparticles, and then with the 5G, you are going to obey orders. It's slavery. And it is so incredible that many people cannot believe that. Many thousands or millions of people are believing what they hear with the TV from the media. And there are many scientific works showing that these masks are not working because viruses are smaller than they can go through it easily, and that they are toxic. Because when you have a mask, you breathe less well, you reabsorb carbonic gas, and it's very bad for the immune system. So it's incredible. I see that in the streets. People go with their mask, and it is a way that shows how much they have been conditioned by media because of fear to believe what they are told. The key is you believe that someone outside you, a doctor or politician or chief, knows better than you what is good for you. You have to awake and say, stop. I do no more want to obey someone. If you go within, you get in touch with your spiritual body, then from within, you know what is true. Intuition cannot lie. You know, animals have that. If you give something to an animal or to a baby, they smell it, are not swallowing something that's not bad for them. Still have this connection. We are in a moment where if we don't go to that, if we continue to obey others, we will see catastrophes. I believe that it's very interesting. It's a moment in human life where the positive aspect of this coronavirus story is that suddenly people become aware that we are all on the same planet. It touches all people. It's no more. That's the problem, because before it was that. For instance, malnutrition, it's killing people, but Americans say, oh, it's not my problem, or malaria, or things. So suddenly, people have became one, but they became one in fear of a virus. Now, everybody can see that this virus was not worse than all in the virus of previous years. But the authorities are in a very difficult problem now, because the World Health Organization, which is no more taking care of health of people, but it's taking care of the financial people who are wanting to sell. They want to sell you vaccines and chemicals. And so they're in a difficult state because their lies, people can see them more and more. When they say it's dangerous and they have no more death. So they say, oh, no, there are no more dead people, but there are 3 new cases here, and 4 there. And in the countries of 20, it's ridiculous. The beauty of that is that people during this month of August, I am sure that they will open their eyes. Already in France, 1 month ago, when people were asked, do you want to take the vaccine when it will be ready, 26% were saying no. Yesterday, more than 32% of people were saying no. It's going to grow because people will awake that media are completely by financial people, and it's a great opportunity for awakening to say stop. No more going to do some things that I don't feel right. But in this oneness, we are going to be all different, obeying the inner law, no more the outer.
Dr. SCHALLER, I just wanted to come back to the services that you offer again, and I was wondering if you don't have English services for the North American people, do you offer online consultation for the people that are still interested in either getting informed about shamanism or about holistic medicine?
Yes, it's a good question. What I do is that we have a network. So I cooperate with many centers like the Hippocrates Health Center in West Palm Beach, Florida. So I am in touch with many physicians and healers all around the world. So we all cooperate. I can give lectures to people because I connect with spiritual guides. So they can give information to someone everywhere in the world. So if someone say to me on the phone on Skype, oh, it's terrible, I have this horrible disease, my guys never say, oh, it's horrible. They say, wonderful. This is what you are going to learn with that. Experience can be a lesson. And when we get the good thing of the lesson, we are very happy. We say, oh, yes, I was ill, but now I know more about health than before I had asthma or I had obesity or whatever. So we all learn. And the beauty of that is this learning process is something we share with all human beings.
Health is a discipline on its own that people need to know that they need to learn it throughout time. And you go through that experience personally to be able to even feel it and even be happy to be healed.
Because what is important is to see that, for instance, you see Irene Grosjean or Thierry Casasnovas or Tal SCHALLER or others, we all go to the same thing, which is to teach the basic laws of life. They are in a state of great fear today because they are losing control. They start to control all the human beings, but they're not going to win. That's what I believe.
I usually say the power of healing comes within yourself, right? You can unlock that power. You just need to learn how to do it. It takes a process and it takes time to be able to get there.
We have to look at people who have healed themselves and continue to do what they have done, because they can be the good teacher.
Thank you so much, Dr. Taj, for this contribution. We appreciate so much you coming in on this channel and express your views on healing naturally. I would like to remind the North American audience watching us here that you do offer online services. Even though it's not in English, they still can have them in French and translate them online. But this is something that is available, and we are going to put the link down below for them to be able to go online. So thank you so much, Doctor, and thank you so guys for all of you for watching us. If you did enjoy this channel, please don't forget to subscribe and don't forget to give it a thumbs up, and we'll see you in the next episode. Thank you all.
And if you want to laugh, I'm going to show you what is going to be said to people very soon, is that usual masks are not sufficient. You have to put that on it, which is a gas mask.
Thank you so much, Doctor.